Welcome back to a War Section free-for-all match. In this video, I tested out a strategy and I think it might work. You won't see it till later, so if you want to, you can go ahead and skip up until I'm at Industrial. But in the beginning, we're just gonna go. We're gonna look at all the different fights I did, etc., against everyone else. But in this video, I use engineers to try and ruin my opponent's economy, mainly his material economy for his board, because engineers have the ability to cut down trees incredibly fast, right? So it got me thinking, what else can an engineer be used for besides free repairs? And I constantly thought this over and over again. I was like, could I possibly use it to just destroy my opponent's, like, in my enemy's economy without having to fight? And I decided to test this out. Again, you're gonna have to wait till Industrial to get it, and I fight a lot in the throughout the ages. But the results, I'm not entirely sure on how the results work. I honestly think this strategy is more useful in a ranked 1v1 situation rather than an actual free-for-all fight. But this was a good test run either way. Plus, this was a pretty fun match, honestly. It didn't really, like, keep me. It didn't get my blood. It didn't get my blood pumping, but it was fun nevertheless. Anyways, so we skip through the ages, and I see I get, I'm right now clearing. Now I have an incredibly hard time in the beginning because I need metal, and I see it's already 15 minutes in, and I'm not even in Iron Age. Because the metal was like really bad because it was guarded by so many wild animals. But anyways, I come here, attack purple. I'm sitting like waves with these guys, and I don't know what it was either. I kept trying to destroy these towers, but these towers were not having it. These two towers, like, it ruined me. And again, they're not upgraded spearmen, so that's probably why. But still, nonetheless, it was really annoying to deal with this. This guy got overrun. Again, I try to go in for another assault. I keep it going in for assault after assault after assault after assault, so he finally gave up, which I wanted to happen. Now, after this guy was dead, my next target was blue, because in the back of my head, in the back of my head, something kept telling me, go after blue, go after blue, go after blue. But I just kind of like ignored it and decided to like stage an assault against orange. But then I realized I can just defeat orange by just getting a bunch of naval ships and just bombarding it from the coast. So I decided to like take my army and just like, you know what, I'm just gonna leave him here. Plus, again, he had a wall, so I was like, this isn't really worth it. I'm just gonna go ahead and clear out some wild animals. And then we're gonna, I'm gonna go after blue. I'm gonna follow my instinct and go after blue. And I am so glad I went after blue, because right after this, I made my decision, blue came in and attacked me. Right here, he comes attack, and I realized, I'm like, oh crap. And luckily, I had a small force here of light knights and archers, and then my main force arrived. And I just went ahead and butchered all of his archers. Luckily, his longbowmen were heavily outnumbered, so I was able to kill a lot of them. And then I decided to press my own assault. Now this was a difficult part because I'm using archers, and while archers are great, he has a lot of towers. Like this is a ranked kind of way you fight. This is like a heavily ranked situation, heavy ranked area. And I tried chasing after his workers. I do succeed a little bit, but not as much as I want to. As you see, he's constantly putting me in towers as normal. I was like, okay, so I'm gonna have to dig in. I can't just throw units at him and hoping I, succeed. So I went ahead and built an area over here a little forward base. And I realized that his towers were because he went Western Europe, his towers were heavily fortified, and they do a lot of damage as well. So I just content myself on launching multiple attacks. As you see, I have archers, horse archers over here, and then I have regular archers over here attacking his workers. And I see he can't micromanage. He wasn't micromanaging. So I was like, okay, great. He's not micromanaging. He's gonna kill all of his workers. As you see, I chase them down. He's putting them in towers, but not before I butcher so many of them. Oh, not yet. However, right here, he made it to industrial, and when I noticed, because I realized I had like a horse archer here, before they died. When I realized this guy made it to industrial, and I'm only halfway. You see, I'm only halfway through. I'm at 57%. I realized that it was a now or never situation. If I let him build up, it's game over for me. But in this stage, when you first get into IR, this is your weakest stage. Whenever you go through the ages, always make sure you can actually protect yourself in the ages, because you are at your weakest when you transfer ages, because you can't build anything immediately. You can't properly repair. You need to upgrade your barracks because you're constantly producing troops. So this is like an incredibly good situation, but it's also incredibly bad. So I can't let him build up. So I'm just like, I immediately started building workshops, got some rams, catapults, more Cossacks, way more archers, and I decided, you know what? Straight up the workers, only workers, nothing else, and the catapults and rams would deal with the rest. So that's what I did. I went and spent my time just everywhere, just chasing him down, just everywhere. I took some rams, destroyed his towers, took my archers, threw them in the middle, trying to find his workers, all of them, preventing him from building these factories, because if a single tank goes up, it's basically game over for me at that point. There's nothing I have except cannons, and cannons would have taken way too long to build. So I just kept pushing, like constantly just kept pushing. Like using catapults, archers, and I had to do like I had to move slowly up, but with the archers and the catapults, with just the archers and the horse archers and Cossacks, I kept running into his back lines and dealing as much damage to his economy as possible. I had to like ruin him. And as you see right here, I started going after his houses to reduce his population. And because he moved all his archers over here, I decided to go in and charge the militiamen. I get everything. Now luckily I made it to IR and I was able to get some soldiers. And I needed some factories to get howitzers. That was like the very next thing I made, was lots of howitzers. And at this point, I knew it was game over. But how long it would take, I don't know. Because here's the problem with this. Every single second I'm fighting this guy is a second more that these guys over here, despite the fact that... Damn. There's a massive fight going on here. Is another second that these guys will be able to build up. And damn, you guys are doing pretty good, fighting hard. Anyways, besides the point, went ahead, just threw attacks, and this guy also quit, so that was good. So I decided to clear up the remnants of the base. I even got some armored cars. I got a few of them. Because he had a lot of British soldiers, or he had a few British soldiers, and I thought, okay, well, just in case, I'm gonna get some armored cars to deal with the British soldiers. There wasn't too many, so I was like, eh. I just made whatever. So then I destroyed the remnants of the base, finish off anything else here, and I decided to go straight after Orange. Straight. I just threw everything I had at Orange, because I had to. Unfortunately, he had a wall. So I was like, well, I have to dig in for another siege. Now, luckily for me, okay, now, here's the thing. I was not scared of Orange at all. I knew he had limited resources because he's stuck on this peninsula. I mean, he had limited resources. He couldn't do anything. And I just go ahead and threw some armored cars at him, straight into his lines, everywhere. Completely decimating his lines. Now, unfortunately, a lot of these armored cars made the ultimate sacrifice, but that's okay because it gave me time for reinforcements to come in and just charge straight through. Oh, it's beautiful, ain't it? Yeah, I wasn't paying too much attention to my soldiers when they were being bombarded from the coast. Anyways, I took this guy out. After that, I'm like, okay, oh, I'm done. Now, I had a choice. I could either go after orange or go after purple. And I was like, well, I'm just gonna let them fight each other, but then I decided not to because I wasn't gonna waste time. Plus, he wanted me to kill him. I just see in chat. He says he wants me to kill. He wanted me to kill him. He's just finished me. I don't want to play anymore. I'm like, okay. And I just steamroll right through everything. Anyways, here's the interesting part right here. Now, this is the part I wanted to get to. Right here. Now, this little engineer, as you can see, he went ahead and made a little path for himself right here, as you can see. And this is where it is. This is what the strategy I'm going to use. I am going to clear out this entire tree line, and I'm going to go ahead and swap to his point of view. As you see, he doesn't have a lot of materials, but he has a lot of workers gathering trees. But he just aged up, so he can't build a warehouse closer. And then I went ahead and launched my own attack, but that's not important because they all die. Anyway, as you see this engineer going to town. We're gonna keep a lookout as material costs. This food and metal, we don't need to look at that. But these engineers, however, these are important. Let me actually look at both. I'm looking to the left side. I'm mainly gonna talk about the left side, but if you want, you can go ahead and look at the right side. Anyways, I have more engineers coming in. I actually built a university closer so I can get more engineers. See, here's another engineer. Now, right here, here's one problem is the fact that I was carving into this tree line. I should have been carving into this tree line more, but I do swap over, so I don't have to worry. I do realize I'm like, oh, this is pointless. All his workers aren't even here, so I went ahead. Come on. Here's more tree lines. And here we go. I swap over here, and now I have 4 engineers here, and now a 5th one here. So I go ahead and I just carve through, and I have a 6th one coming in. So right here, I'm carving in, destroying all of these trees. We'll just do it normal speed for a little bit. As you see, it only takes 2 swings for an engineer to take down a tree. Now it takes a few for a worker, of course, because they're gathering it, whereas engineer just straight cutting it down. So I'm just completely erasing this guy's. I get the wonder. Erasing this guy's tree line right there, and gone. That's the entire tree line just gone. Think about it this way. This guy only has 6,000 materials left. I destroyed this tree line. This was at least 20k, at least 20k materials. And it's gone now. I cut down so many. Now, unfortunately, when you cut them down, they start attacking each other, so the engineers end up getting attacked, so I had to go and take some Red Devils to rescue them. But I still have 3 engineers left, so that's okay. So I go ahead and spend the rest of the time just clearing out this guy's remnants of this tree line. He still has a tree line over here, but it's small and pointless. And and I went ahead and just went in for the major assault with howitzers, bombers, etc., etc. But here's the thing: he's still going after this tree line, so I'm just erasing it. Look at it; he can't even build. Okay, yeah, honest to God, this did ruin his economy. This ruined his economy. Genuinely did. He has 0 resources now. He had his entire tree line that he was gathering from, but it's gone. Literally, I ruined his guy's economy. Okay, so this strategy does, in fact, work. Now, granted, his base is completely being overrun. Like, fucking. But think about it this way: if I didn't carve in this tree line, he would have had still way more resources, and he still would have been gathering. So he could have definitely fought. The problem is, I ruined his materials, so he didn't have anything. So now, again, this is not a foolproof strategy because it still has many kinks to it that I have to work out, see what's the best way to go. But definitely, if you can sneak just one engineer into the big hodgepodge of workers. You see, he had a lot of workers, and there would have been no way to tell. Because one, the engineers aren't attacking, they're going into the trees, and the workers are too busy, and you're not going to pay attention to that. Honestly, tell me, like, if you're having a massive force of soldiers right here, as you see right here, I have a massive force, and whatever was left here, and then you're going to worry, and then here's all your workers. Which one are you definitely going to worry about more? And here's the thing, nothing's attacking your workers, nothing's hurting your workers. What is it? Like, is there anything, is there something wrong? Like, is there, like, horses hacking? Nope. Enemy built towers right next to it? Nope. It's just a single engineer. Or 2, 3, maybe 4 engineers? Maybe? And you're not going to pay attention to that. Honestly, are you going to pay attention to that? You're only going to pay attention to it when your entire tree line is gone. Actually, this all used to be one tree line, and the engineers completely decimated it, destroying this guy's economy. Because he still could have gathered from it. He still could have gathered, but he couldn't. Between the combination of me attacking him, ruining his economy, and then the engineers literally coming up and ruining this guy's tree line. So yeah, you can definitely employ some scorched earth tactics, by the way. Definitely. So if you, let's say for an example, it's half. Let's say it's half and half. All right. Let's say the map is split in half, and it's purple, and there's me, and we're fighting on the front lines constantly. We're constantly fighting, back and forth, back and forth. He gains a little bit of territory, I push him back, I gain a little bit, etc., etc. And these still have a lot of they still have a lot of resources. You both have a lot of resources on our side. You see, we still have lots of metal, lots of stone, etc. But the tree line can be cut down way easier. Like, say he had all this, and his workers, his workers are still over here. They're gathering this tree line, they're going up, but the fight is just ruthless. So what happens, what I would do in my strategy is take one engineer into separate tree lines. Just one here, one, maybe 2 where his workers are, one here, maybe just one total over here. And see, these engineers are still going. Look at this. These engineers are still going. Let's follow them around a little bit. Look at this. These engineers are still going. They are still going. And look how fast they are just completely erasing these trees. Because that is literally what the 2 things they can do. So definitely this is a strategy. Now I need to test it out some more. Again, this was like a one-time thing that I tested, and I need to test it out some more. But it's definitely a strategy. It is 100% a strategy that can be used. So I need to test it out in ranked more free for. I'm gonna test out in more free-for-all matches in case I can get into good fights. I can have multiple people to try this on. So maybe if I think about it, maybe I can purposely start wars. Oh, I didn't think of that actually. I could purposely start. Oh, there we go. I could purposely start a war, because if you think about it, right here. So let's say I'm over here, and then cyan over here, and then purple over here is fighting, or they're like they're not bugging each other. But they need resources still, so they're gonna expand and expand and expand. But there's just one tree line in the middle, right? There's one tree line in the middle, and they need those trees to expand, to grow. So they're gonna fight each other for that one tree line. So that's definitely a way to, if you think about it, start a war, without firing a shot. Imagine you take out both your opponents without firing a shot. Now you probably will have to fight them, like, you know, finish the last guy off, but otherwise, think about it. What is there to do? You're just gonna stand back, gather your trees, gather your resources. Meanwhile, your enemies are fighting over scraps because you erased their economy. So yeah, there definitely is 100% a strategy. So yeah, this is just a test run, but definitely if you guys want to head and go and try it yourself, and then tell me about it, or tell me if this is a good strategy or not. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.